All right, welcome to the unboxing video of Transmissions. This is the pre-production copy. So this is just showing the printed components, if we will. So let's open up the box, take a look. You can see first up here we got the rule book. Looks pretty good. This is a glossy rule book. Here's the components and setup for the game. How to play and taking actions. Looks pretty good. More taking actions. There's the end of game. There's the scoring in the game. Whole page on that. Here's how to play solo. A couple pages on that. And solo scoring. The solo game doesn't work exactly like the actual game, but it's really close. Harvey is your opponent, and the difference is there's a limited number of resources you have in the game, and those score against you if you don't get them all dismissed before the game ends. So that's the difference. Here's the glossary for ideas and the forest cards. Thank you, backers, because we have extra ideas now. You can see down here. These score special ways, kind of an advanced couple of ideas there. And there's some special items that, again, were unlocked in our campaign. So thank you for that. It's in every copy of the game. There's the back of the rulebook. So set that aside. Here's the score pad. This looks pretty good. There's 50 pages in here. Front and back. So you can score 100 games with this score pad. So very nice. 4 players across the top there. All right. Here's a nice component. This is the double layer player board. You can see how thick they are there. So they're double layered, extra thick player boards like that. So they're going to hold your ideas and items in here. Your engrams will go right up in here in a nice slotted spot. This is the final artwork now, so it looks really cool. Fun little character pictures here, portraits of the different robots. Very cool, very fun. There's 4 of those in the game. We'll set all those aside. Here's the standees. We can take a look at those. So it's about 70 millimeters high, about 40 millimeters wide or so. And let me show you the actual miniatures in the game. This is not the final color. This is just the gray proofs. I showed you photographs of those, but you can see here. Here's one of them. This is the blue one. This is the final sculpt. Again, not the final color. That'll be blue with a wash on it, but they look really good, don't they? Very nice details there. Here's our speedy guy. It's pretty cool. Very nice. And you can see based on my hand size here, really good size miniatures. These are big miniatures. They're not small. Again, this one's about 85 millimeters tall. The 40 millimeter base. So very cute. Very cool. Here's our thinker. He'll be yellow in the end. Again, he'll have a nice yellow cast to him, and he'll have a nice wash on him too. And finally, here's our green one. He's not green yet, but he will be. Again, you can see the final mold here looks really good. Very high quality plastic. Nice size, big, bulky miniatures. Super adorable. So there you go. Those are the minis. These are the final cubes in the game. Take a look at those. So lots of bright, really pretty colors here. And if you can see here, this is it's got little sculpts in them. See? There's the yellow one. And again, the blue one here, it's like water. And the green one has a leaf in it. See that? Cool. And the white one has like a little seashell in it. That's kind of the idea behind them. A little abstraction, but pretty cool. Very, very playful colors in the game. So I did look at the translucent version of these. I just didn't like them as well. I think the solid colors are much better, much more fun, much more playful. Almost look like little toys, don't they? Very cool. These are not the final lightning bolts. The final ones will be acrylic, and they'll be translucent. I'm going to prove those in about a week or so. They'll also be slightly bigger than these. These are a little bit small for my taste, so these were just substitute wooden ones for a moment. They look good, but the translucent lightning bolts will look much better. So we're going to go with those. Here's the forest cards. Take a look at those. These cards are not linen finished yet, so they're a little bit glossy. That's why you have a glare on them. But the printing is very good. The card quality is very nice. Nice snap to them. And these are pretty much done. They're looking good. So Yeah, you can tell from that sound that this is a very nice deck of cards. Okay, here's the transmission cards. Take a look at these in the game. So these are the final backs. There's like the Explorer, if you will. It's a very nice picture of those. Here is the leaning against the tree, you know, plugging in, relaxing, charging up. Very cool. Thank you, Matt. Oh, they're so cute. This is a great one here. Coming out of the pipe, there's a bird. Beautiful. And then I really like this one a lot, sitting on top of a dryer. See a little sock here? Little details, little oil can. These are the things that Matt does that are just so wonderful. So really cool. Of course, the fronts of them are all the same. Look at the nice, pretty pictures. Very pretty, nice print quality. They look great. Here's the first of the Kickstarter exclusives, just in your Kickstarter version. So these are Pipes scoring cards in the forest. So when you go to the forest, if your pipes are in this pattern, you can score this card. So they're worth 5, 7, and finally there's some 9-point ones that are very hard to get this pattern established with your pipes, so it's worth a lot more points. So that's a module you can add into the game when you're playing. You don't have to play with it, but if you do, adds a little more scoring competition in the game with pipes. Here's the Kickstarter exclusive rule page, so you can take a look at that. This is talking about the Transformers. I'll show you those in just a second. The new wild items, the forest cards for pipes. We just talked about those. And then there's some scoring ideas. I'll show you those in a second here as well. So this is a one-pager that comes in the Kickstarter version of the game, just with your exclusive. There's 4 total modules, and you can add all 4 of them, or 2 of them, or none of them, whatever you want to do to make the game different and more interesting. All of these kind of advance the play a bit, make it a little bit more interesting for experienced players, different ways to score the game, and just have more fun with it. So it's really cool. All right, we got a whole bunch of punch boards. Let's get those out and take a look at them here. So this is the Kickstarter exclusive punch board here. So it has scoring tokens. Here's our Transformers. I talked about these already a little bit, but you can see there's 2 sides to them. And this, for example, this one would sit in the lake. And when you go there, instead of taking engrams, you can instead turn in an idea off of a robot and score 4 points. And when you score the points, you take them in the form of these tokens here. So there's a limited supply of those tokens. And after you score it, you flip it to the other side and it changes how much they're worth now. And then if you score that, it goes back the other way. You can also score based on electricity. So you can turn in 2 electricity to score a point, or 3 electricity to score 2 points. So as you do this, it flips back and forth in the game. And there's also one here for the meadow. Same idea, except here you turn in items for points. And again, there's a bit of a race condition because there's a limited number of scoring tokens. So as you use these, that pool will get drained and you'll score points. Or you don't have to play with this. This, again, is one of the modules in the game. Here's some new items, too. These are the wild items. Lets you match any type of item with that scoring pattern. And then some new ideas that score points in the same way. So if you play with this module and this one, you will be draining this pool of points with these and these during the play. So it's kind of fun that way. There you go. That's the Kickstarter exclusives. Here's all of the ideas in the game. So a whole bunch of them. Several sets. I think there's now 5 sets of 7. So you've got 35 different ideas here. Some of these are starting ideas too, of course. And what you do with this is, of course, these go on your robots. And as you pick different sets, the game will play different every time. There's just so many different sets here. So sometimes electricity will be more available. Sometimes it'll be better to score with birds and butterflies, and other times, etc. So as you play the game different times, it'll certainly play differently, sufficiently, to give you some more interest in the game. So those are the ideas. Here's a lot of the items in the game. You can see all those now. Different sets of items. Really cool. And of course, we got our pipes. A whole bunch of pipes. And again, these connect together. Here's one with a little butterfly on it. You can see it. The artwork is just, again, adorable. This is not the final cut, by the way, of the punch boards. These were all hand cut, just to show where the cutting is going to happen with the machine. and what the print looks like. So these look great. Really, really high quality. Very happy. Very nice, thick cardboard. Again, these come right out because they were hand cut, but another one of those pipes. Very cool. Here's the final punch board with some final items. These are these items I was talking about. For example, this one. This is on your robot. When you use the robot, I'm sorry, at the end of the game, you can turn in ideas for points. This does not come from the point pool in this case. This is just end of game scoring in the normal game. This is not a module, but you can add this set of items in when you play. So you can turn in up to 5 items and get 2 points apiece. So this could be worth 10 points, depending on how many ideas you have on your robots. Pretty nice. Similarly, we've got this one. It does a similar thing for pipes. And then a similar one for items in the game. So this makes your items worth more points, essentially. Okay, there you go. And finally, we've got the game board. Let's take a look at that. See if we can get enough room here for it. I don't think it's going to fit in the camera, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, we'll get as much as I can in it here. So you can see the game board. And I'll put the miniatures on here. You can see how nice they fit on there. Very nice size. See, they fit just right over those spots now. And there you go. That's a look at the game board. And then you've got the player boards, right? So it looks great. Very happy with the components so far. So thank you again for backing the game. It's coming along marvelously. I think you can see. We're going to get the colored minis in, finish up the finish on the cards and the other components, get a final production copy off, and then we'll be ready to manufacture. So hopefully it's going to come along quickly now. Thanks again, everybody. If you got any questions or comments, please let me know.